Hello, my name is Randy. Well, my name is Denny. I am here with Denny. Denny is a good friend of mine. I've asked him here to share with us an event that happened to him this past January. Denny, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Well, just recently I turned 59 years old, and I'm also a retired Navy senior chief. I spent 22 years in the Navy and was fairly active while I was in the Navy and been fairly active after I retired. Currently, I am Director of Quality at a manufacturing company out in Crestview, Florida, which means that pretty much I drive a desk for the most part. Jenny, I understand you had something happen to you earlier this year. Would you like to tell us about it? Yes, as a matter of fact, I did have an event earlier this year. It was January 11th, which was a Friday, and I came home and had a cold for a few days, and so I went to bed, and about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, I woke up coughing, and so I got up and I went out and I took some cough medicine, and then I went back to bed. And about 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up, my eyes opened up, wide awake, looking at the ceiling. My chest felt a little tight, but I didn't think anything of it because I'd been coughing pretty much all night. And all of a sudden, I heard the words, "Randy, you're having a heart attack." Yeah. And I kind of shrugged it off a little bit, and went out in the living room and turned the TV on. I was sitting there watching some shows. Did that for about 20 minutes and went back in and laid back down. And about 10 minutes later, I'm laying there and I hear the words again, "Randy, you're having a heart attack." And by this point, I'm starting to freak out a little bit. So I roll over and I wake my wife up and I say, "Honey," I said, you need to take me to the hospital. I'm not feeling well." So we go to the hospital, go to the ER, and of course, as soon as you tell them you got chest pains, things go crazy. So they get me in the room and they hook up all the probes and everything to me. And the ER doctor walks over to the screen, looks at the screen, comes over to me, puts his hand on me, and he said, "Mr. Denny," he said, "there's a lot of activity that's getting ready to happen very quickly." And I said, "Okay." I said, what's the matter?" And he looked at me and he says, "Mr. Denny, you're having a heart attack." And at that point, it became very sobering to me. And my poor wife was standing there, and of course she got very upset. But I had this sense of calm that came across me, that almost said, "It's okay, Randy. Everything's going to be okay." And so I kind of just went with it. They put me in an ambulance, took me over to Sacred Heart, took me to the cath lab, gave me a stent, and by 8 o'clock that morning, they had me up in the room resting. Wow. Did you say you heard a voice? Was it one that you recognized? Yes, I did. I firmly believe in my heart and in my soul that I heard a voice say, "Randy, that you're having a heart attack." I heard it twice before the ER doctor said it to me, and that was at home. I heard it twice, but my daughter asked me later on that day. She said, "Dad, did you recognize the voice?" And I said, because she said it was a grandma, was it grandpa, or something along those lines. And I remember saying to her that there was no gender to the voice. It was just a voice. I heard the words, "Randy, you're having a heart attack," and it wasn't a male voice, it wasn't a female voice, it was just a voice. So how are you feeling today? So right now I am doing very well. According the doctors say that I'm doing great. Through some discussions with them, they asked me how my meditation life was, or prayer life was, eating, sleeping, and activity. And out of those four things, I've gotten 3 out of the 4 that I had going very well. I've got my meditation or my prayer life going very well. My sleep is going very well, and my diet's going very well. What was lacking was the driving of the desk out there. I need to make a concerted effort on getting up and walking or riding a bike or something along those lines. So, what are some of the symptoms of a heart attack? Okay, so according to the Mayo Clinic, some of the symptoms can be pressure or tightness or pain around the chest, kind of a squeezing sensation, or an aching around your chest, your arms, and kind of radiates up into your jaws or your chest. You could feel nausea, indigestion, heartburn, abdominal pain. I mean, it's really strange. All this it could be attributed to a heart attack. Cold sweats, fatigue, lightheadedness or dizziness or shortness of breath. These are all kinds of things, kind of symptoms that could tell you that you're having a heart attack. Well, first off, we want to thank you very much for sharing with us today, and we're certainly happy that you're feeling much better today. Well, thank you very much for having me, and I appreciate the opportunity. Remember, folks, if you exhibit any of these symptoms, please consult a physician or call 911. Today we learned about the symptoms of a heart attack can be pressure, tightness, pain, squeezing, aching sensation about your chest and arms may spread to your neck, jaw, or back, nausea, indigestion, heartburn, or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, cold sweat, fatigue, lightheartedness, and sudden dizziness. I hope you find this video to be informative. For more information, go to the American Heart Association at heart.org.